Good evening, traders. Adam here from Bold Logic doing a market analysis with you. Market actually finished up today 0.04% on the S&P. Most of that came towards the end of the day. As you can see, we spent most of the morning and the afternoon actually pushing lower below that 50-day moving average and down into that 1420 support, which is also support on this lower trend line here of this channel that we've been trading in. Nice bounce off the lows though. Took us into the green to finish the day with a nice doji candle. This would be nice to see a bounce set up. We are coming off of support. We have a nice doji candle to confirm that doji. We'd like to see a bounce into tomorrow. Now, will this be a bounce like it was over here where it takes us back into this upper trend line? Maybe, but I really doubt it. I expect us to see us at least bounce into here. Nice little dead cat bounce, work off and digest this big down day that we had, that 1.6% down day that we had. We need to bounce a little bit, work off those conditions, and then we can really set up and see if we're going to push lower or maybe we'll actually push higher. So I don't expect the bounce to be as great as it was last week, but I do expect it to bounce here. It's now the perfect time to actually get a nice little bounce since we came off support. NASDAQ finished a little bit better today, up 0.38%. Wasn't down that bad today. Didn't even get near that 200-day moving average yet. So we'll have to keep that on watch. What we really need to watch is how we're going to react when we come back into this resistance. You see we have this double resistance first, this trend line here coming up, and then we also have this horizontal resistance coming across. So we have this double resistance. Are we just going to bear flag into that resistance and then break down further, or are we actually going to put in some significant gains? I can almost guarantee you that it's all going to depend on Apple and Amazon reporting later this week. We can pretty much think our run up due to Apple, up nice $25 today, almost 4%, coming off the lows and just kind of really nailed it. A lot of it came towards the end of the day, really helped this market get into the green. So people buying up a little bit right before their earnings might not be a bad idea. I believe Goldman Sachs or someone of the like released a higher profit target for these guys, which helped them run up today. Amazon did not share a similar fate, down 2.6%. Still a lot of weakness coming in here on Amazon. Nice little bear flag into that 50-day moving average. It's going to start getting into that oversold territory. We might have to see it move sideways or get just a little bit of a bounce before it actually moves lower. Again, it's got earnings coming up, so we'll have to see if it gets any buying opportunity before the earnings come in. Google also not really sharing a similar fate just because it did release those bad earnings a couple of days ago, but it's still starting to work off those big moves, trying to digest that move. It is oversold here, so I would expect a little bit of a balance, maybe a run back into that 50-day moving average of those opportunity traders trying to get in on the low and buy Google, because Google is a solid company. They got a big event coming up where they're going to unveil a bunch of new stuff. So we might see a run into the 50-day moving average, at least going into that event, and just for dip buyers coming in. VIX down a little bit more than expected today, 2.5%, and that is with volatility being added in from the weekend. So it should be down about 3% altogether. Definitely down a lot more than the S&P was up. S&P only up 0.03, VIX down 2.5. We'll have to see if it's actually going to start to pull back into the 15 range. Maybe the market is going to bounce here. So definitely good to see the VIX, confirming the move in the S&P. Let's look at some sectors here. Energy still taking it pretty hard here. Utilities still taking it hard here. Nice little pullback in utilities, something we like to see. We want to see the money come out of utilities and move into other sectors, more important sectors like materials. Nice little updated day. We also have technology, which you'll know is helped by Apple. Came down and hit that 200-day moving average. Was oversold. Expect another run here in technology just because it needs to get out of this oversold territory. Financials also looking pretty good here. Nice little doji candle on that 20-day moving average. Look for them to bounce and maybe make another run. Again, we are still watching these higher lows and higher highs that are keeping this uptrend going. So let's make sure we stay above this 1580 level and see if we can't get back above that 1640 level. Biotech still not a hot sector right now. A lot of sell volume come in, even though they are only down 0.83%. We might start losing some of the love here in the biotechs, but we do have a bunch of biotech earnings coming out this week, so we had to see how that's going to react. One index I didn't miss was the Russell 2000. Let's just take a quick look. Again, nice hold on support, down on the day 0.06%, but it really didn't have that big of a down day. Like the S&P was down a lot. It was down like 0.6 or 0.7% during the day. Russell did not share the same fate. It stayed pretty strong and stayed above that support. So good place to bounce here. 2 levels of support coming in, so we could see another run back in that 50-day moving average. So tomorrow, expecting a bounce, at least a little one, just as a dead cat bounce and maybe just a digestion just to work off that big down move. So I have to see if the bulls can't push it just a little bit further and actually turn that dead cat bounce into a real solid bounce. But as of right now, the market is looking pretty bearish. We are getting a little bit more defensive here, not really swinging too many longs, favoring the swinging on the short side just because the market is in a intermediate downtrend marked by these lower highs and lower lows. So safe trading out there, everyone. Remember all the economic reports coming out. Fed is on Wednesday. We have Apple and Amazon earnings on Thursday. So make sure you're aware of that in your trading and when you decide to hold positions overnight. Good luck to you.